Well, well, well. Tim Henman. We'll just take a look at these match statistics. We finally see somebody. No, you may laugh, but a load of people
I'm not laughing. I mean, who might that be?
No. Yeah, it's a load of people out there whose talent has been wasted over the years, and suddenly we've got somebody fulfilling potential, and that's why everyone's pumped up. The fact that he comes from the right side of the tracks, the wrong side of the tracks, had the right help, is not the big deal. Finally, we do have somebody, and people have been desperate for years. I mean, if you grew up here and you grew up in the system and tried to be as excellent as you were over here, you may have found it impossible. Finally, we have a product that we can be proud of. That's what it's about. You know what I mean?
Very nicely articulated, Mr. Castle.
You're not disagreeing with me?
No.
Okay, I'm passionate about the guy. Where did he get a 132-mile-an-hour serve from?
That's a shocker.
Yeah.
132 miles an hour. That's quick. Anyone over 130 is... I mean, look at this guy. He's got arms like this. You know, he is not exactly Arnie Schwarzenegger, you know, stepping up to the line. But 130, that really says a lot about just the talent and the coordination that he has.
He was moving well right from the word go. We were wondering whether he would against a player who moves as well as Mal Washington at 3-4 in the first set. Peter, you show us exactly what's going on here. Washington hits a great return, doesn't
it? Right. Let's hold it there, please. Okay, now, in this situation, this happens 100 times a year, or more like 1,000 times a year. Washington is cutting in here, and he's expecting just a little floater shot here. He's going to take a nice high volley and boom, smash it through there for a winner. Let's run it on and see what Tim does. Look at that touch. Just feathers it an inch over the net, and he's back in the point. Now, he's got a chance to hit a great pass on the next shot. I mean, that was really a class shot, because anytime you get attacked by someone, really, rather than trying to hit a flailing winner in a horrendous position, neutralize the player. Just get yourself back in the court so that on the next shot you'll have a better chance of hitting a reasonable pass. Well played. Job
number one, get the ball back into play and make your opponent do something.
Get it back to a position that he can't put it away from.
Indeed. Break point in the second set. Baseline rally coming up here that will illustrate just how well and how solidly Tim Henman gets his weight into the ball. This was a break point, and this is when he took control of the match right there.
That was a very heavy forehand.
It certainly was.
And that is, Tim plays very much like Pete Sampras. You know, he modeled his game growing up after Pete Sampras, and he really likes to back his way into that corner and hit heavy forehands and rally, hit big serve and volley, and come in when he has an opportunity.
And actually, Tim hits the ball flatter than Pete does. Pete has a little bit more topspin on that particular shot. Coming up, I tried to think of a label for this particular point that we pulled out, and the only thing I can call it is it's a joke. This overhead, really an illustration, Peter, of the confidence. They're going to get into a baseline rally first, but well, this was just delicious. And coming after the break, as it did, you know, just the guy was floating on air.
Okay, now this is a really high lob. That's up in the rafters. Every single player would let that ball bounce, because what people don't realize is that when the ball goes that high up in the air, it is coming down fast. And just to time it, the ball's coming down like this, and your racket's going forward. To actually just hit it on the strings is not easy. And then to hit it on the strings hard into the corner, I mean, that's an incredibly difficult shot to try, let alone make.
The man feels at home in the big arena, that is for sure, because that was right up in the rafters of the Olympic Hall. And he played an excellent point when he was serving for the match for the first time at 5-1. This was a tremendous way to start the game. Hanging in, big backhand, sweet lob. There's that thing again that you were talking about, making the shot, Peter. No, it's just, and that's a leave at the end. I mean, he's floating on air.
He did really start out that game serving for the match. You know, serving for the match, we've talked about this before. Serving for the match is the most difficult game to win. The last point is always the hardest, because that's the situation where people say, for instance, where Todd Martin was at Wimbledon. oh, you had it on your racket and you lost it. I mean, that psychologically,
Sleep
that's
well.
oh my God, I choked and I lost it. And so serving for the match at 5-1 in the second set, you always get a bit more nervous. So he came up and played a very solid point. However, he did not finish out the game properly, and it crossed our minds here in the studio that, uh-oh, here, you know, we've seen the situation before. So now Tim Henman coming up to serve the first point at 5-3 in the second set.
Second serve. He went wide on the first one, but that's heavy, huh?
That was a very, very heavy second serve that was. That was not a first serve. And the first point of any game when you're serving for it really sets the tone, and it is a huge point. So for him to say at 5-3 in the second set, having missed the first serve, that's when you would really see nerves come up. And Tim just said, okay, I need a heavy serve here. And he aimed it just for that right hip of Washington and just said, boom.
Get the racket moving on this thing.
And that sort of just beat Washington for pace.
Remember when he was serving for the match at 5-3 against Stick? Deuce, second serve, exactly the same thing.
Same serve.
Piled into the net, and Michael Stick missed him. He's defeated Stick 3-3. He's defeated Mal Washington 7-6, 6-3. And he has excited Peter Fleming. Don't tell me you're not getting excited about this. You're just not getting carried away, are you?
Maybe I am. Who knows?
He plays Boris Becker in the semi-final over the best-of-5 sets, which will be fascinating. That match coming away live on Sky Sports on Saturday afternoon. So, I don't know, go and do your thing in the morning and perhaps come and watch a little bit of tennis in the afternoon. We're guaranteed a couple of excellent semi-finals. So the top half is done. It's Becker against Henman.